do it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Regional Property Unplugged for our weekend edition. Because we're trying a few things out. Obviously, we're in lockdown, so we can't actually get together and do our live. So we attempted yesterday. Zoom has changed a few things, so it doesn't we need to work out how it's working again. And we're trying a new thing today, so let's see how it goes.
You know what we've had to do?
What?
We've had to pivot.
Word of the century, word of the decade.
Word of last year, probably.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. We've all had to pivot, and there's really great segue into what we're going to be talking about today. But how's it all going this week? Are we in week? No, it's only been the week for us. For regional Victoria's lockdown 7. Melbourne is still in lockdown 6. How's it all going on your side in the industry?
Well, we're a week in almost, aren't we? It was this time, I think it was pretty much this time last week that we announced that that we were going back into our 7th lockdown. It was 1 o'clock last week, and I remember the town went mad, went crazy. There was cars and people carrying on and up the street. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I remember putting a post on Facebook about it, and it was like it was Easter. It was there was people fighting to get into car parks and Bunnings and the rest of it. So it was interesting, but it's an interesting thing, this lockdown. I think this one is potentially a bit more real because it feels like there might not be a close end to this one. Every other lockdown we've had probably they've seemed to fall on a weekend, so you get your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bit of a long weekend in. By your Monday or Tuesday, you're still fielding a lot of phone calls and inquiry, and then to be honest, after that, we're sort of back into it. But this time, it's very, very different.
It is a bit different, and there's lots of heightened emotions around it as well. But I was over the last couple of days reading some articles about regional Victoria and real estate, and the difference from last couple of times with the lockdowns and even 6 months, it's totally changed. The landscape has totally changed. The feel in real estate, from what I'm reading, this is why I want to get your take on it as well, is that there's been the impact, given this lengthy time, the impact on, accommodation services, food services, hospitality and stuff, and people just not being able to afford property, and people coming from the cities like we've discussed before, that, they're coming in droves. There's like some pretty huge data of numbers, like the numbers are amazing. Huge. That's coming huge, and even coasts like Apollo Bay and, just going to those sort of regional areas, but it's having a bit of an impact. And I want to get your take on this because rentals in those areas compared to Mildura, the St. Rasia area, is there a high demand? How are the sales going? Do you think there needs to be rules, I guess, around how it's handled, like obviously the infrastructure to handle people coming in, more people coming into regional areas, but also so people can actually get housing in front of investors? Yeah, and it's tricky.
It's a really tricky one because I'm getting a lot of people that are really, particularly locals, are getting really frustrated.
Yeah.
And they feel like every time they miss out on a house. I had one guy recently say, I've missed out to a Sydney or a Melbourne investor, haven't I? And it wasn't the case, but there's certainly a lot of demand from different areas of, particularly the metro areas. So real estate and everything's changing all the time. And I guess from the real estate point of view, there is still a heap of demand from buyers. We're still finding that just about every property we sell is multiple offer scenario. There is a lot of people looking to purchase now because they feel the market's going to increase over time. So even people that aren't even ready to buy now, but are planning to move here, retire here, come off the farm, they're looking to secure something right now, because they see the rapid growth. They've seen huge growth, and it's not just Mildura or St. Rasia or Redcliffs or Merbein. It's absolutely everywhere. It's and like you mentioned before, your Apollo Bays, like these areas, these coastal towns are in such strong demand because I think everyone has the fear of living in the city now to a certain extent, and
Yeah.
they want to escape, and they've had a taste of a life that doesn't revolve around work all the time. They're starting to think about more of a lifestyle way of living, and it's more to do with, you know, spending more time with family and spending more time with the kids. It's changed dramatically. So we've seen it a lot over the last year and a half, where people are moving or changing or making decisions about selling or buying real estate for mainly reasons due to family. And I think that's the biggest motivation, and it's a lifestyle choice now. So
absolutely. And in saying that, which that's a beautiful point, because it's not just one family moving from the city. Grandpa and grandma are coming as well.
Yeah.
Aunties and uncles, like the whole family situation, they're moving to, so they can all be together, to have that freedom, that feeling of, you know, space and freedom, and to, because it's been proven, we have evidence now that working remotely absolutely works for industry, not just for entrepreneurs and online businesses. It's actually working for a lot of industries. So it's there's a big, massive pull for everyone to come to the regional areas. And so, yeah, it's really interesting how that's going to go and impact prices. What are you thinking with that?
Oh, look, there's no doubt about, you know, from a local point of view, as an agent here in Mildura, that there is an extreme change in price, and it's almost every lockdown that we have, it kind of boosts it just that little bit more. Like last lockdown we had, it was the same situation as this time. We had properties go to the market, bang, shut down. We had a long list of buyers for each and every property, and then bang, they all sold. So, and it will be the same time this time. We launched 5 last week. We've sold 2 of them. The other 3 have got a long list of, you know, buyers are keen to look. And the tricky thing is, people don't understand the rules about inspections and what you can do. We do, from a real estate point of view, and this has shocked a few people that that I've explained this to in the last, you know, every lockdown we've had, is we cannot do appraisals other than virtual. We can't do inspections. We can't organise photography. So in essence, it's, for us, it's really downtime, like dead time, other than communicating with our clients and making phone calls. We can get vendors to prepare a house to get ready to go to market. But, you know, for instance, the Vision House boys, I've got them locked and loaded, ready to go to pull a trigger on a few houses. As soon as we get the word that we're out, then we're off again. So we can still sell as long as the buyers have seen the house, or if they're prepared to maybe purchase a home without viewing it, which has happened. So it's just a tricky time, but it's certainly not impacting prices. And I think the biggest thing is that the vendors that are actually going, well, I'm ready to go, I'm taking it to market, whether there is a bit of a stop-start time from going to market to actually getting buyers through, it hasn't affected us whatsoever.
Okay, that's good.
Unfortunately, this one is just that little bit longer, so we have to be a little bit more patient. But it's not affecting sales. It's certainly not it's just probably the dead time we're having between going to market for some properties. And I think because we've had 3 lockdowns in a short amount of time, you know, it's making it difficult for vendors to make that jump. But there is, just to reassure, there is so many buyers out there for all these myriad of reasons, whether it's investing, whether it's you know, own occupy, whether they're moving from off the farm, or moving from the cities, or moving from out of town. Who wants to be locked down in a unit in a high-rise building in Melbourne? Like, who wants that? I don't think, you know, we're lucky. We've got space around us here. You've got space where you are. I can't imagine our kids, 15 kids that are in there at the moment, I can't imagine them being stuck in a small 2-bedroom unit with a small backyard. I feel for those people, and I think that's a big motivator.
Absolutely, I feel that too, and you know, we're sort of, that's close to home for us because our in-laws are in a high-rise building, and if someone in the building gets sick, they close the whole building, so they can't leave the building. So imagine if you had kids to, you know, it's tough times. So absolutely,
imagine
I can
having a
see
2-year-old not being able to go outside. It's from that point of view, I think it would be really, really tough. We've spoken many times about how COVID's affected certain industry, and I guess, you know, some people have really suffered, and it's hard. You know, you've got lots of people that have. You see these businesses closing down, particularly hospitality, and you know, I've had to sell recently at Backpackers, and it was hard for them because they've done that for 25 years, and for them, you know, that was a very successful business until the moments the borders were locked. You know, there's another few backpackers on the market. So not everyone, you know, everyone is struggling in their own different way, whether it's financially or mentally. I worry about the kids, you know, I worry about them not seeing their friends and them struggling with, sorry, a big gust of wind coming. I'm sitting in my new Renault actually, by the way.
Oh, are you? I was wondering where you were.
So had to get away from the kids, and it's lockable. So so you know, it's everyone's got different reasons or concerns, and it's hard. But from a real estate point of view, you know, it's we've had downtime, but it's still a great time to sell and buy, and that's not just here. Like I said, it's everywhere.
That's right. And look, you know, you're saying sort of it's like a downtime for you guys. It's a little bit of a, you know, stop start sort of thing for you guys, but it's really, you know, you can still prepare your property to, like in this time, prepare it and get ready to when you do put it on the market, when the photographers can go in and they can see, they can make, you know, do it, take photos that to make it look the best it absolutely can. So if there's people prepared to buy online, unseen, they've got the photos there and it's attractive, and it's kind of like still being above the other properties on the market. It's still competitive. So it's, you know, it's not like, oh, anything will do. It still has that edge of competitiveness, hasn't it?
Yeah, the principle is always you want to present your property in its best light possible, right? So it's it is literally a time where you don't have to force yourself to come to the market so quick, right? Because you know, the fear of, well, I've got to go, or I've got to leave, or I'm going here, or I've got to be out of my house by Christmas, or whatever it is. I bought another house. And unfortunately, the issue for real estate right now, and the reason the REIV are lobbying the state government and health department, is because there are people that have sold but haven't now got the ability to buy anything. So we've got plenty of buyers. We had another one yesterday. He's close to making a decision without even looking at this house, which is not a great thing. You don't want buyers to make those decisions, because he has to be out of his house at the end of September. So what about all these people that are in that limbo that don't have the ability to take that next step? They've already made one transaction, they're out of that house, but how do they get into that? And it's the same with rentals, and it's the same with tenants, it's the same with landlords. There are so many people in the predicament, and that's why the REIV, which is the Real Estate Institute of Victoria, is saying we should be allowed to safely in a COVID-friendly way do one-on-one inspections. We've done it before. New South Wales still do it, which is crazy.
Do they? Interesting.
Yeah, so New South Wales have the ability to still do inspections, even in their situation. So, you know, it is a bit frustrating, and it's not from the fact that I can't work. It's because these buyers and these tenants and landlords and vendors are really struggling with this time in between, particularly a long lockdown. You know, what do they do? Where do they live by the end of the month?
They're buying from a place of fear.
100%. You know, so it's not just about these discussions about real estate during lockdown aren't just about, it's a great time to sell, which it is, but it's also well, what are these people going to do when they've got nowhere to go, when their house is going to settle and they haven't got that next step sorted? And that's the big concern for a lot of tenants and buyers all over Victoria.
It's just a strange one, isn't it? Like we hear that.
I'm sure if Dan Andrews is listening.
Yes, he will be.
Yeah. People will be listening. You know, and it's a tough one. There's you can do pest inspections safely. You can do building inspections safely. We're allowed to do final inspections as part of a settlement. We can't do private inspections, but as long as the greyhound racing and the horse racing and the harness racing is still allowed to go ahead, then that's okay. I think that's the frustrating thing for a lot of buyers and vendors, and that what do they do? Where are they in this position and of in limbo? Really, it's hard for them.
Well, it is, because our freedoms are taken away from us. It's substantial, but it's like, this is our oasis. Like, coming home to a home, to your security, to your safety. That's where we have to come to. But for some people, they're not even getting that. They're not even getting the opportunity to find that place to help with mental health, for their well-being, to have their kids feeling that their home safe. And to be in that position, it must be like so super stressful. And I didn't even know that was happening, Mark. So, what can people do? Like, obviously what was that? RV, what?
You should know. Yeah, REI, the Real Estate Institute of Victoria. So
yes, right.
They've sent numerous open letters to the health department. And it's not anywhere from with regards to the state government saying, because the state government make a lot of money out of the stamp duties, right? It's a big money spinner for them, So, but it's less about that. It's less about everyone being able to work. It's more about, for us, it's more about making sure that these particular clients have, Victorians, have somewhere to call home or to secure something. And that's the big fear at the moment. Like, I'm getting phone calls from buyers saying, well, I don't know if this lockdown gets extended, then where do I go? Like, where do I live? So there's broader issues than that. But I guess hopefully we just out of lockdown next week, and
absolutely.
It seems like it's basically lockdown until we all get the jab. I don't know, maybe. So let's not get political though.
No. There's heat under my grill. But anyway, so what can we do? Like, the people that are not in the industry that feel passionate about this, because this is pretty serious. Like, what if we could somehow put pressure on, what can we do to be able to get people being able to inspect the house before they buy?
Yeah, they're purely just one-on-one inspections. And I understand that they don't want anyone in houses, and there's been certain areas where they've had issues with large families gathering, and that's been the common spread. But if you can safely, check someone in and provide face masks and all that sort of stuff. We did it last year. We had one-on-one inspections. It's a lot more work, but it allows for the vendors that have outlaid in money for marketing. It's allowing buyers to secure a property after all this time, so it's, but at the end of the day, we just have to follow what we're told, I guess, and we just wait until we're allowed to get properties back on the market, and particularly get buyers back through houses. The big thing is it is a time for people to really, like I spoke to a lady yesterday, we're going to the market in a week or two, or whenever we can. So just keep putting that water into that lawn. And she goes, I'm just going to keep gardening, and it's an opportunity to get things absolutely perfect. So, but look, it's an interesting time. There's a hell of a lot, there's a hell of a lot of other industries that are worse off than the real estate industry, of course. And that's when we certainly feel for them, but it's for us, I'm worried about the buyers and the tenants.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure. Wow, it's pretty serious stuff, isn't it?
So,
but I guess it really reiterates. It just really reiterates, being able to have a really good relationship with a real estate agent and a trusted advisor, to help you through this. If you can't, if you are stuck and you need to buy a property and you can't see it and go through that process, is really, you know, find the real estate agent, find the properties that, you know, that you can trust, because that must be high pressure for you guys as well.
Look, like I said, as soon as we're able to put the suit back on, or not the suit, but, you know, get dressed and go again, we've got a long list of things to do, and that's good. You know, it's but it's, you know, I just hope everyone's okay during this lockdown, given it's a bit longer. I guess it's a time to just really, you know, spend time with your kids and your family if you can, because it's, I think they're, you know, for me, I sort of worry about the kids, and they're losing contact with their friends and their sport. You know, they're out of a bit of rhythm. I think structure is important for kids. I think we've all known that, but I guess have a bit of fun in the meantime. It's all you can do. Yeah,
exactly. Well, it's very interesting. My kids are a lot older, but they're really feeling it suited them to be lazy at home, and, you know, they're all online with their friends that have been for a while anyway, but now it's just really, I'm sick of this. So they're, you know, they're feeling it, and it's just like, you take it for granted sometimes that your kids are pretty resilient, and, you know, they're working through this, but, you know, when you see them and they're really troubled, it's very heartbreaking. But like you said, on a happier note, so what are you going to do with your time? Plan a wedding?
Yep. Yeah, that's the plan. So
good. Congratulations. It's exciting news.
It was nice. We ducked down to Stefano's last Friday, and she reckons she had no idea. So that's nice. She wore the same dress that she wore on our first date, just by chance. So there we go.
Oh my God.
And that was my thought, that was when she knew, but she had no idea. So it was good. It was nice. She deserves it. And she's very, it's exciting. It's really exciting for the kids too.
That's
we were talking about it last night, you know, and one of them wants to be the DJ, and the other one wants to be flower girl, you know, but we'll make it a bit of fun. But, you know, it's hard to plan now because, you know, we're in that time of, I think once we're out of lockdown, there'll be 400 weddings each weekend, but we've got some good ideas for what we want to do, so that's exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Our girls at their Debs were put off this time. They were supposed to be this month, and can't get into venues till March next year. So it's like a big log of people wanting their functions. So it's But anyway, it's fun. It's fun preparing and, you know, dreaming up and what it could be. So enjoy that part.
Will do. Yep.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we finally worked out how to do this. Zoom.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's better without Zoom, I think. I like it. I have to get Mandy to teach me how to do it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Right. Well, stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and hit Mark up if you're looking for a property, or you're struggling with what to know, how it's all working and how to inspect. He's always available. He's the man to reach out to. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you, Shonah.
See ya.